Good morning, fellow Academy55 premium members and all those who are watching the recording. It's 5 to 8 on a Thursday, the 18th of April. Very sunny Cornwall, not a cloud in the sky at the minute. Very unusual. Anyway, but going back, we are here live paper trading and a bit of training on the EUR USD on the 1 minute time frame. And as you can see, anybody on this morning would have had a little bit of success at 7 o'clock this morning. And so we haven't done ours yet, obviously. I'm seeing a lot of success between 7 and 8. And also I've been backtesting and seeing a fair amount of success between 9 and 10. It's just the times that I train where I've normally had a lot of success. If people have been on here for followed me for a number of weeks now, seen success between 8 and 9, but the last couple of weeks have been very sparse in that regard. Lack of volume between 8 and 9. Maybe they are making their decisions what they're going to do, and while the decisions are being made, obviously trades aren't being placed or whatever. The reasons, there could be loads, and it's just everybody's opinion at the end of the day because we don't really know. But I'm trading what I see, and what I've seen in the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I haven't had a very good time between 8 and 9. So that's why I'm paper trading. So before we continue, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Switching the NT4 on and making sure if you want to trade, that is, I won't be live trading. I will be paper trading, but this is good practice to get into for anybody who wants to trade. Make sure your trade assistant is on, and you've got your risk to reward in purple, your lot calc in purple, and the square down here in purple. I know I do these things repetitively. I make no excuses for that because it's keeping doing repetitive actions, muscle memory training and all that, like really looking for the red, the green, green. Like, for example, here we had the buy alert, we had the green trend, the green wave, the green trend. You would have got in there. Stop loss goes down on the trend line because that is before the break from red wave to green wave. So that's before. And then you're 2 to 1, and then up you go. Like here, for example, there also is a trade in could be a trade in progress, not for me, obviously, but I just marked it up. So you've got your sell alert, you've got your red trend, parallels are above price, the green wave meets the red wave. So that's where the stop loss goes this time, because it's before, closest to the entry, whereas down here the trend line was closest to entry. This one, the wave turning from green to red, is closest to entry, and making sure you're at least 2 pips away, which was just over 2 pips. So your 2 to 1 would be down there. So that is that's a paper trade that we could actually look at. But this session here between 8 and 9 hasn't worked out for me too well over the last couple of weeks. So that is why I'm thinking to myself, well, times change, conditions change in the markets, and 8 to 9, what I'm seeing, not what I'm thinking, but what I'm seeing is a lack of success for me, unfortunately, between 8 and 9. So, but this is my favorite time to trade, and I've had success before this, but the last couple of weeks no longer. So I'm going to be using the last 2 times as a trading session and paper trading, and looking to see if we can get some sort of, if volume is coming back into the market between 8 and 9. And if it isn't, well, then I'm going to have to seriously think about trading different times. 7 for me is a wee bit early, although lots of people are having success, and that's very, very nice to see. And obviously, long may it continue. I might try to get up a little bit later, my own personal lifestyle, and trade the 8 to 9, sorry, the 9 to 10 session. And I'll be doing a bit more back testing over the next couple of days and see if it's worth it for me. And maybe next week I might be doing 9 to 10 sessions, but all the while keeping an eye on the 8 to 9. But like I said, in a post I did a couple of days ago, I want to see 3 consecutive days where I am successful on my Academy 55 trades between 8 and 9 before I'd ever consider trading that time again. But 9 to 10 is another nice opportunity, maybe. So I will be back testing that a little bit more over the next couple of days. So what can we see for today? Well, this area of red here is imbalance. That was formed on the 4-hour time frame. What I'll do is I'll just take this indicator off at the minute. Go on to the 4-hourly time frame. And as you can see, get this tool here. As you can see, this area here, see we've got the wick there on the 4-hourly time frame, but this area here, we have no buying power on this side of the candle, no buying power on that side of the candle. So this needs to be filled at some stage. We just don't know when that's going to be. So that is why there is imbalance drawn up there. These are just rough guides. So I get some sort of idea what I think may be happening as far as price is concerned. And consequently, I've just noticed we have areas of imbalance below as well. So if I get my rectangle tool, just draw this up. Please excuse me, all this is in the way, isn't it? I'll get rid of all this. That over there in a minute. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Hang on, I can draw these back up again. But they are in the way on the 4-hourly, because although you mark them up on the lower time frames, when you get to the bigger time frames, they're obviously bunched up and they are make it look a bit confusing. So just let me remove these for a while. We don't need them anyway. So as you can see, where's my pointing tool again? Move, zoom a bit. Okay, so as you can see, this is imbalance here also, and we're in between 2 imbalances. Actually, I've got to change that from this is a buy imbalance. There we go. Change that. So yeah, so basically there is no sell orders in this bit of candle here, no sell orders in that bit of candle there. So that is indeed going to be filled at some stage. And also as of that, go down to this a minute. Go down to the change this into lines. And like I said, when you have areas of 2 or more points on the line, these are very important areas that are respected. This one especially because this has been support, resistance there, and sort of resistance there. So this area here is where price respects a lot. That's why that line is drawn. And there isn't, I haven't drawn any lines up here, but for example, this area here is an important area, so I'll put that in. Get the horizontal line. This is quite away from price, but it's still an important line, and it would always remain an important line. So you've got resistance there, support here, support there. So this area here obviously is an important area that price respects. So that's why that line will be drawn in there. And consequently, just down here also, we have another important line. Because it's been resistance there. So that line there also is an important line where price respects. And also here, because we have a point there and a point there. So that's an important line where price respects. But that, like I said, that's quite, this is on the 4 hourly. So this is quite a way away from where price is at the moment. So let's go and see where we are at the minute. Go back to the minute time frame. Go back to candles. Bring back the I wonder if I press my undo tool, it'll bring things back again. Let's have a look. Oh, it's okay. This is undoing all the stuff I just did, so I'm not going to be doing that. So I'll have to draw these in again, but that's no problem. So again, this is good practice for people to constantly do this. So 8 o'clock, I like to draw because I'm looking intensively at price between 8 and 9. And again, a vertical line at 9 o'clock. And if you want to change the lines, you don't like that color, you want to make it another color, for example, it's up to you what color you should make them. So you right click on the line, go into settings, and you can change it to what color you like, orange, for example, and change it to, sorry, do it again, settings, change it from dots to a single line if you want, or a dotted line. But I like a dashed line and I like it white, so that's why I'm doing that, and just press OK. So we've got our times when we're trading, and we'll put the latest trade on, paper trade that is. So we got in there just underneath the make sure, and the stop loss went where the wave changed from green to red. Make sure you're over 2 pips away, and you're 2 to 1. That's another successful win. That's good. So that trade would have won as well. And obviously we had this one at 7 o'clock this today, so I'll draw that in again. So you've got your buy alert, you've got your wave change from red to green, but your trend line was there, so you had to wait till price went above the trend line. So you would get in there, making sure you're 2 pips minimum away from the price, which would have taken it down to, oh, that's wrong. Which would have been about there. Or, yep. So therefore, that means your 2 to 1 is there. And that was a successful trade as well. So if anybody was on that, congratulations. This is a watching brief now because you've done your 2%, but we had another 2% there. And the market seems to be a lot of volume in the, a bit more volume than I've experienced at the minute previous times. So that's good. But whatever you do, make sure you back test it. Steal one of our journals from the back office, make it your own, and journal your results so you can look back through, and then you can determine what is the best time for you, and more importantly, what times are you having more success in your actual trading longer term. So there's 2 very successful trades, more or less textbook trades between 7 and 8. So 7 and 8 has done it again. Me, last couple of weeks, as you know, I haven't had that greater success between 8 and 9. But things change all the time. But seeing as I'm seeing that, why would I continue trying to trade between 8 and 9? I'm going to do it over the next couple of days because that's the time I've advertised. And also changes into training session, which is not a bad thing for you guys at all. But the reality is, if I was trading that and I had little success over the last couple of weeks, I'd be looking at changing the times, going from either 7 to 8, or like I say, I'm back testing. I'm only a little bit of way through back testing the results between 8 and 9 and 10. But what I'm seeing is been quite encouraging so far, and I have to appreciate the fact that things do change. So for whatever reason they are changing. We can come up with scenarios why and have opinions why they might be actually doing that. And I have certainly got my own opinions, but they're opinions at the end of the day. And just like trading for real, when you trade what you see, you have to, in a real trading scenario, the bigger term, you have to look at that as well and trade what you see. And like I say, I'm not seeing much success between 8 and 9, certainly over the last couple of weeks. But I'll keep an eye on it. And maybe next week we'll go on another time, which will be, I'll determine over the weekend. And until such time as I see 3 consecutive days where I'm seeing success using the Academy55 indicators, then I might consider going back to 8 and 9 again. But why would I flog a dead horse and try and make a winning scenario out of something that I know isn't working at the minute. Displaying stubbornness on my part, which is it's very silly. So I'm not doing that. So I've taken my losses on the chin and recalibrated and act accordingly. So, I mean, if I was in a live trading scenario now, I couldn't have taken that trade anyway. But because I'm paper trading, that's why I was showing you the win there. These are not going towards my results. But what we're seeing also is price above the purple line for quite a while, all the way back to around about 3 o'clock in the middle of the morning for us here in the UK. We've got a buy bias because we are above the purple line. But we were so far above the purple line, that's why we got this would be called what I would call a retrace trade, because it would be retracing back to the purple line where I know price likes to congregate around there a lot, like here, for example, and there's other examples here. Price likes to congregate around that purple line. So for me, I would call that a retrace trade, retracing back to maybe there. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily. I might like for here, for example, it retraced only to that before carrying on its upward momentum. But I mean, I'd like to point out you wouldn't have got into this trade anyway because the trend line's still green. But so what I mean, it retraces, but it doesn't necessarily have to go back to the purple line. But too many times it actually does. So this is where we are at the moment. Like I say, it's very pleasing to see quite a lot of people having success between 7 and 8 now, using the Academy 55 strategy and getting in their 2%. So they're done for the day. So that's nice to see. But at the moment, we are really on a deep sell. And like I said, possibly going to this area, either bouncing or indeed going down to maybe tap into this imbalance down here. And at the same time, we can see, I'll get the drawing tool. At the same time, we can see imbalance on the 1 minute time frame down here. All these candles are in balance, which need to be filled at some stage. And so you may well see price getting down to these levels down here to mitigate this imbalance here. But we don't know when that's going to happen. That's the thing. If we did, that would be rather good. But they haven't come up with an indicator, as far as I know, that tells you when that's going to happen. That would be, you'd be an instant. If you could make an indicator to do that, I'm guessing you would be multi-billionaire. As indeed everybody who uses the indicator would be a multi-billionaire also. But it doesn't exist, unfortunately. Because these and it can exist really because these movements are down to humans investing and also AI bots as well, but thousands and thousands of them. But there are also thousands and thousands of humans investing, putting money in, taking money out, and so really you'd have to have a an indicator that could read the minds of all these things. And as you know, that's just fantasy. So what we're seeing at the minute, I'll get my picture back again in a minute. Okay, so I go to my images, choose an image. That's the one I want. There we go. Put that back there, like that. So at the minute, you've got a nice 2-to-1 there and a nice 2-to-1 there, which is nice to see. We are at 822. Again, we are seeing, if I was trading between 8 and 9, I'm seeing what I have been seeing over the last couple of weeks, and that is sideways movement, consolidation with no particular will or bias to go for a buy or a sell. It's almost like they are deciding, using the hours between 8 and 9 now to decide how to proceed for the rest of the day. Whereas before they used to maybe take a few minutes, they're taking longer to deliberate, perhaps. This is just my thought process, my opinion. Others might have different opinions, which is fine. It's all opinion based because we don't know for certain. And I suppose it could be indicative of the world we live in now, why they would deliberate a little bit longer before going one way or another, because of the topsy-turvy world that we live in at the minute. So if you're investing millions, I suppose it takes a lot more, a lot more planning than we have been seeing previous, I should imagine. Well, one could imagine that, you know. So if anybody's got any questions about trading what they've just seen, and only that, if you have any other questions, please submit a support ticket for our Academy55 team to get back to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I can work out how to do it, because Zoom has recently got a new app. And this is an upgrade. And before I used to be able to throw open the chat. Chat. Right. All right. Okay. So if anybody's got any questions, I believe you can use chat now. So if you have any questions about what we've been talking about this morning and the previous trades or what we're seeing now, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and I will answer them if I can. But if you have any questions about anything else regarding the indicators or something, an anomaly or anything, please submit a support ticket. And the replies are very, very good. You know, hearing lots of great comments about the response to support tickets. Steve is doing a great job, as always. But so this area here, let's this area here now is just mark this up so it's easier to see, is consolidation. Caused by lack of volume. Orders have been accumulated. Right, we have a buy alert there, and it's kind of broken out of this consolidation area. I'll get rid of that. So let's, oh, the buy alert's gone at the minute, but that's okay. It'll come back as the volume progresses. And let's see if it breaks this imbalance area here, because I'll be looking at that area if I was getting into a buy. We're not into a buy yet because the trend line's still red. And the wave has just started to turn green. So got a long position tool there. The trend line would go, sorry, the stop loss would go there where the red wave started to meet the green. You've got to go to at least two pips. It'll be more than that, obviously, now, because that's a 2 pip area there, which will take your 2 to 1 in that area there. So you can get into the trade now because the trend line's still green, and I would think that the trend line would stay green until price was up here, and then that means your 2% would be beyond that mark for imbalance. But we'll watch this and see what happens. And indeed, the buy alert has gone now. Buy alert will probably stay permanent if price got up to these areas here. But we're still technically in the consolidation area. And this is what I've been seeing for a number of weeks now, between 8 and 9, unfortunately. Things have changed a little bit for whatever reason. You've heard my own opinions. I'm sure you've got your own as well. Why this is the case. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what your opinions are. The fact that what we're seeing is what is happening. So that's the most important thing. And take decisive actions to redress that for your own trading. Let's see what that this little purple line says. Asian currencies can't fight the dollar on a rampage. The dollar's on a rampage. How long ago was that? 34 minutes ago. Looks like the euro is holding its own against the dollar, because that's not a rampage. I wouldn't describe that as a rampage. And we are seeing more consolidation. And indeed, it's coming down to revisit the purple line. And if it breaks the purple line, then we could maybe be looking at this as a potential target where price wants to go to tap into this imbalance down here, potentially. But it also means, because we had the sell alert there that you would have been successful on, we won't be having any chance of paper trading during between 8 and 9 if indeed it does break this and goes deeper and deeper and deeper. I'll get rid of this in a minute, not to confuse. Looking forward to walking my dog in a minute. No clouds in the skies. Nice blue sunny day for a change. So price is now, where's me pointing tool? There it is. Price has now formed imbalance on these areas here, so price may bounce on the purple line, which nearly did anyway, and then come back to redress this balance. And then indeed, if it wants to after redressing that balance there, scenario is it could continue down to redress this imbalance down here. That's a scenario that could happen. Whether it does that between 8 and 9, we don't know. If price breaks the purple line in a minute, the chances of me actually paper trading for you guys is slim, because a deeper sell will take place, and then by the time we get ourselves doing a U-turn for a buy situation, that'll probably be after 9 o'clock if that did ever take place. So we'll wait and see what happens, whether it'll be interesting to see whether price does break it through to this imbalance here, because we are on a after all, we are on a buy bias because we are above the purple line, or indeed they might wish to take it even low to mitigate these imbalances down here. So we will see. Regardless of the fact that not taking any trades, I hope you get a little bit of knowledge from this and a little bit of looking at the charts, maybe the way I do, and maybe and getting a little bit out of it, irrespective of whether we actually do a paper trade or not. While we're waiting there, I guess another favorite of mine is another favorite of mine is the US 100, also known as the Nasdaq 100. And indeed, my time with the US 100 is 7 to 8 UK time. And as you can see, we had quite a bit of success last night with the US 100, also known as the Nasdaq 100. So if you was around at 20 to 8 in the evening, buy green, 2%. And the take profit was before the purple line, which was nice to see. And then there was another trade which shows the Academy 55 indicator does work after all. So I just thought I'd show you guys that. But at the minute, back on the EUR USD, not a lot going on, more consolidation, kind of respecting this purple line. And this is where I will be cutting off the recording now, because I don't think a lot is going to go on. I've said what I needed to say. Hopefully giving you guys a bit of an insight. And all I can say is have a nice day. And we'll come back and do the same again tomorrow. So thanks very much for your time today. Love seeing all the comments in the Facebook groups. Long may that continue. And we'll leave it there. So thanks very much and speak to you soon. Cheers for now. Bye.